West Ham versus Arsenal. Here we go again, back into the Premier League. And I tell you what, this game is going to be massive. It is probably going to be the biggest Premier League game we have left to play. Because I genuinely feel that if we can get past this game with a win, we will go on and win the Premier League. Looking now at the games that we have left, which is obviously West Ham away today. Later on down the line, we'll have Burnley at home, and later on further down the line, we will have Crystal Palace away. West Ham are going to fight us tooth and nail tomorrow. And let's be honest, both teams will be absolutely desperate to get a result over the line. And if we can get that result over the line, that puts the faith in us more than anyone else. We could, in theory, still win the league at Burnley if we beat West Ham and Crystal Palace gets a result against Man City. And, you know, I was hopeful initially for Brentford to do it, but Brentford in the second half just decided to completely capitulate. So, you know, Crystal Palace, we put the faith to you now. But in the meantime, Arsenal here, I believe, could kill two birds with one stone. Because West Ham right now, they're in the relegation zone. Crystal Palace, 43 points, and West Ham are 36 points. So let's say, for argument's sake, we beat West Ham. West Ham can only end the season on 42 points. Which means that Crystal Palace will be clear of the relegation zone if we just beat West Ham. And that is probably one of the biggest things we can do right now. Because Crystal Palace, if they've got nothing to play for against us and everything to play for in the Conference League, then I highly doubt they'll put out a very strong team against us. If I were them, I would put out a B team because that game is a throwaway, a giveaway entirely. But you look at Burnley. Burnley's got nothing to play for now. They're already relegated. And so I imagine that game, I don't think they'll really... How do I put it? They don't have anything to play for, so I don't imagine they're going to put in much of a performance. Maybe they'll play a bit casually, probably open up a little bit for us, and we can take advantage of that. But West Ham is the one. West Ham is the one that we have got to look at and be so careful with. Because right now, West Ham, this team, West Ham, they will run their socks off against us. They will be willing to put themselves through injury just to get goals past us. And we cannot allow them to do anything like that. And look, naturally, we do have a better team than West Ham. This isn't me shitting on West Ham in any way, shape or form. It's just that Arsenal does have a better overall team. And we have to show that in this game. We're on a very high note right now, of course. We've beaten Fulham 3-0. We've beaten Atletico 1-0. We're through to the Champions League final for the first time in 20 years. And you can see how much it meant for every single player there. Ignore all the talks about over-celebrating, piss off. We ain't hearing that. I've heard it unendingly on my social medias, Instagram, TikTok, all that. Nothing but rival fans complaining and whining. Oh, you would have thought they'd won it at this point. As if PSG weren't doing the exact same thing last season. But as for what we have now, of course, as I said, Brentford didn't do us any favours against Man City, unlike Everton did. But that's okay, because frankly, we can still win the league on our own merit. All we've got to do is get past West Ham, get past Burnley, and get past a B team Crystal Palace. Let's get this job done for them. If we get this job done for them, it will not matter what Man City does. And Man City can win every single game that they have 10-0. As long as we win our games 1 or 2-0, we've won the league. But we're also looking at Spurs and Leeds as well, because if we beat West Ham and Leeds do us a favour and beat Spurs, then the relegation battle's still on. So Arsenal could really kill off the relegation battle, or Leeds could keep it alive. But we will have to see the day after, because this game, I want it over with so badly. I want this game. This is the only game that I'm really looking at and I'm really unsure about. Because I know West Ham, they're not a bad team. And I know that they've got that ability to get goals out of nowhere. But on top of that, I also know that they're going to want it just as much as we do. The pressure is on us, but the pressure is just as much on West Ham as well. And it's really a case of who's going to capitulate, because if West Ham capitulates, I think we go on to win the league. But now, sitting here and staring at it, knowing that it's tomorrow, it really does concern me. This is the one game that I'm scared about. And if Brentford just did us a favour, I wouldn't be so concerned about this whatsoever. But anyways, West Ham, it's a must-win now. After that game, that Man City game against Brentford, it is a must-win. Every game's a must-win, but this game just became that much more significant. And I don't think I'm emotionally ready for it, if I'm honest. I'm quite nervous. I'm excited, but I'm nervous at the same time. Because I know this team. They can do it. They absolutely can get over the line. I was nervous against Atletico Madrid, and look what happened. We beat Atletico Madrid. I was nervous against Fulham. We beat Fulham. I was nervous the entire way up the Champions League, and look where we are. Look where we are now, completely unbeaten. I know that this team has the capacity to play so well, and it has the capacity to get really important results. And okay, we didn't beat Atletico Madrid by much, but it was a very pragmatic win. We didn't need to beat them by much, just beat them. And I do not care in this game. I don't care if we beat West Ham 1-0, 5-0, 10-0, 17-16. I don't care if we win the game by a penalty, by a corner, by an indirect shot, by an accident, by a keeper error. I don't care if it came off of an own goal. I do not care. Just get the 3 points over the line. Because that's when I feel that these games coming up, Burnley and Crystal Palace, it will feel like after West Ham, if we beat West Ham, it will feel like one hand's already on the trophy. And to be fair to Man City, they have the capacity to drop points as well. They haven't got an easy run in. Arsenal, on the other hand, we've already had our congested fixtures. We've already had that in our season. We've had it all season. And now, we get to play West Ham and then have an 8-day rest until we play Burnley. And then after that, the 24th, which is another 8 days? Hang on. Let me do math. So, yeah, 18th of May no, it's 6 days. 6 days rest until we have to play Crystal Palace. And hopefully by then, it won't matter what we do. Emphasis on the term hopefully. But anyways, we're getting into the starting 11 now. And starting off in goal is David Raya. Straightforward. I don't really need to explain that one. Centre-back pairing of... I nearly said Urian Timber. Of William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes. And again, I don't need to explain that one. Right back, I'm going to go with Ben White because I feel like we need that attacking prowess now. Now more than ever, we need to show that we're willing to attack. And we have to attack. It's undisputed now. We've got to go at them. Get the points, get the results. And then we can sit down, get a bit comfortable. And on the left back, it really is a toss-up between Calafiori and Hincapié. And I would really take either or at this point. I'm not going to be so picky now. But I'm worried a bit about West Ham possibly taking advantage of a left-back who isn't in that position. And I think overall, defensively, Hincapié is that little bit better than Ricardo Calafiori. So I'm going to go with Hincapié. But again, I will accept whichever. In the... midfield, I'm going to start us off with Declan Rice, of course. Why not? And with him, it has to be Miles Lewis-Skelly. I'm sorry. Miles Lewis-Skelly has just proven himself now. And he has to play in these kind of games. In the attacking midfield, I'm going to start us off with Eberechi Eze, of course. Has to be Eberechi Eze. I just think Eberechi Eze is that little bit better compared to Martin Odegaard. But Martin Odegaard coming on does make a difference. And on the right of Eberechi Eze, it's going to be Bukayo Saka. And on the left of him, it's going to be Leandro Trossard. And of course, up front, who else? It has to be Victor Gyökeres. And let's be fair with Victor Gyökeres, he's been having some really good performances as of late. And if he can keep that up, I have confidence that we will get goals and that we will get points and we will get results. And at the end of the day, that's all I care about. But anyways, that is my match preview for West Ham versus Arsenal. Let me know what you think down below. Like, share, and comment, and please subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And I will see you for the match watch along for West Ham versus Arsenal. Goodbye for now.